Yo, what is going on, guys? Gloomzy here, bringing you guys another Destiny 2 video. And in today's video, we have the biggest leak of Destiny 2 so far. Now, this leak is on Reddit, so go check it out in the link in the description. But basically, it's images of the new exotic weapons for Destiny 2, new exotic armors for each classes, new subclasses, new vendors, new social spaces, and a lot of more information to show you guys. Now, I'll be putting each of them on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And the first thing we have are the new exotic weapons. Now, the first exotic weapon we have here is the Wardcliff Coil, also known as a Dubious Volley. Now, this is the Arc rocket launcher, and the two main perks on this is the Mechanic Autoloader and the Mad Scientist intrinsic perk. Now, Mad Scientist is the intrinsic perk, and this weapon fires a volley of rockets, which is just like a lot of rockets basically. And the trait, which is Mechanized Autoloader, this weapon automatically reloads on ammo pickup. So when you're out of ammo, you pick up some ammo, just automatically reload it, which is pretty sweet. The next weapon we have here is the Hard Light from Destiny. Now, the Hard Light, as you know, is the Arc auto rifle, but in Destiny 2, the trait for it is switching through all three elemental damage, which is Arc, Solar, and Void. And the intrinsic perk is called Volatile Light. Rounds fired from this weapon have no damage fall off, over penetrate targets, and ricochet off hard surfaces, which is pretty cool. And the next weapon we have here is the Vigilance Wing, which is the 5 burst Trials pulse rifle I did a video on. Now, this picture is kind of blurry, so hopefully you guys can read along or just hear what I'm saying. But the Vigilance Wing is kinetic damage, and the intrinsic perk is called Harsh Truths. This weapon fires a 5-round burst. When a nearby ally is killed, gain health regeneration and increased movement speed, which is kind of strange. So when your teammate dies, you'll get more health regeneration and more movement speed. And then trait is called Last Stand, which is basically last resort. When you're the last person of the fire team, this weapon's performance will increase. And yeah, this is a pretty cool weapon. I didn't know it's going to be an exotic, so it kind of surprised me there. Now, the next set of exotics we have is armors, and this one is 4 exotic warlock helmets. The first one is called Crown of Tempest, and the intrinsic perk is Conduction Tines. Arc ability kills increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities. Now, this has to lead on to an arc subclass, and this is probably going to be the Storm Trance, which is awesome. And the look of this helmet looks absolutely insane. Now, the next warlock helmet we have here is Eye of Another World, and the intrinsic perk is called Cerebral Uplink. Highlights priority targets and improve the regeneration speed of your grenade and melee and rift abilities. And the next one we have here is Nezarec's Sin, and the intrinsic perk is called Abyssal Extractors. Void damage kills grant ability energy, and this helmet looks absolutely insane. This is actually pretty sweet. And the next and final warlock helmet we have so far is called the Skull of Dire Amakara, which is returning from Destiny. And the intrinsic perk is called Actual Grandeur, and it provides additional bonus resistance during Nova Bomb. Nova Bomb kills grants super energy. Now, the first thing it says about the additional damage resistance was already on the Skull of Dire Amakara. When Nova Bomb kills grants super energy, which is the Obsidian Mine perk. So this has 2 exotic perks from Destiny in one helmet, which is absolutely awesome. And it's actually pretty cool because the Skull of Dire Amakara wasn't really an exotic a lot of people use. Now it has the Obsidian Mine perk with it, which makes it kind of cool. Next, here we have the Titan exotic armor, and the first helmet we have here is the Insurmountable Skull Fort, which is from Destiny as well. And the intrinsic perk is called Transfusion Matrix. Kills will arc melee abilities trigger health regeneration and restore melee energy. I don't know if this is from Destiny or the perks change at all. I didn't really use a Titan, but this is pretty cool. And next one we have is a Mask of the Quiet One, and the intrinsic perk is called Dreaded Visage. Grants ability energy when damaged and health regeneration when inflicting void damage. Next, we have a bunch of Titan exotics. I don't know why there's so many, but the first one we have here is Doomfang Pauldron, and we actually seen this before in the Destiny gameplay video. And the intrinsic perk is called Horn of Dooms. Shield Bash melee kills recharge shield throw. Melee ability kills recharge sentinel shield super, which is a lot of recharging. Next thing we have is the Synthoceps, and the intrinsic perk is called Biotic Enhancements. Increase melee lunge range, improve damage when surrounded, which is actually pretty cool. And this is all Titan armor, which is crazy. But the chest piece for the Titans we have is Actium War Rig, and the intrinsic perk is called Auto Loading Link. Steadily reloads a portion of your equipped auto rifle's magazine from reserves. and this is actually a pretty good perk. Actually, this is not that bad. But the next we have another exotic returning from Destiny known as Crest of Alpha Lupi, and the intrinsic perk is called Survival Well. Generates and an additional orb of light from supers and a healing pulse when bear kids activated, which is different from the Destiny. It used to be like a fast res exotic piece, but now it's different. Next we have his Hollow Fire Heart, and the intrinsic perk is called Sunfire Furnace. Greatly improve the recharge rate of your solar abilities while Hammer of Soul is active. Now Hammer of Soul is the subclass from Destiny 2 from the Taken King for the Titan, and we have the exotic Titan armor legs, and we have Dune Marchers, which is another Destiny returning exotic. Now the intrinsic perk is called Linear Actuators, increases sprint speed. Springing builds up a static charge after melee attacking an enemy that charge with chain damage to nearby enemy. Next we have Lion Rampant, and the intrinsic perk is called Jump Jets, provide additional aerial maneuverability. Next we have the Peacekeepers, and the intrinsic perk is called Mecha Holster, reload stowed submachine guns and allow you to ready them instantly. And that's like a lot of Titan exotics. We have the helmets, we have these 2 gauntlets, and we have 3 chest pieces and 3 boots, which is crazy. Just a lot of exotics for the Titan. Next we have is the Hunter exotics, and the helmet here we have another Destiny returning exotic for the Hunter called the Celestial Nighthawk. And the intrinsic perk is Hawkeye Hack, modifies golden gun to fire a single high damage shot. Victims killed by the shot explode. So this is basically the same thing as the old one. Next one we have is Foe Tracers, and the intrinsic perk is called Relentless Tracker, visually marks targeted enemies. And I don't know if this helmet will be that like special at all. I mean, it's just like a tracking, but who knows. Next, for the chest piece for the Hunter, we have the Dragon's Shadow, and the intrinsic perk is called Quicksilver Mail, grants increased movement and weapon handling speed for a short time after dodging. And next we have Lucky Raspberry, which is another exotic returning from Destiny, and the intrinsic perk is called Probability Matrix, increases the chaining capabilities of arc bolt grenades and has a chance to recharge it each time it deals damage. That's actually pretty crazy. It recharges it each time it does damage, it has a chance. Next we have Raiden Flux, and the intrinsic perk is called Synapse Junctions, quick successive attacks with arc staff increase its damage output and duration. That's actually pretty sweet. Next we have the exotic Hunter legs. First one we have is Lucky Pants, a legally modded holster, increase hand cannon ready speed and initial accuracy. Now this one's kind of blurry, so I don't know if I can read all this, but next we have Orphis Rig, and the intrinsic perk is called Uncanny Arrows, provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by Shadow Shot anchors. Now this one's actually really hard to read. It took me a while to figure this out. So Shadow Shot obviously is the tether from Destiny, which is the 3rd Taken King subclass for the Hunter. And the next one we have is the Stomp EE5, and there's actually Frosties or Stompies now, but the intrinsic perk is called Hydraulic Booster, increases sprint speed and slide distance, improve jump. And okay, that is basically all the exotics so far that's been leaked, and that's just a whole bunch of exotics, which is crazy. So next we have Visor Agent of the Nine, which is like the exotic equipment dealer that comes every weekend in Destiny. But in Destiny 2, he's not going to be coming to the social spaces. He's actually going to be coming to each planet. So I guess there's going to be like a set location for each planet, but he's going to be on one of those planets. We're going to have to find it out and hunt him out. Next thing we have here is a picture of the tower in Destiny 2. Now this isn't like a rebuild of the tower. It's actually like a whole new tower, which is another social space besides the farm, which is pretty cool as well. But yeah, that'll be all information. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, be sure to help me out by hitting that like button. Do that. That really helps me out. And subscribe to the channel if you're new for more Destiny 2 information. And turn on post notification to get notified every time I upload. As always, have a good day and peace.